Hey there, welcome to day 90 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we are talking about it's our final day of communication. We're going to do a Q&A, but I have to hop on a plane pretty quick here, and so it's too early for anybody else to be on. So instead of doing that, I've added a Q&A to the post. You can always ask questions on any post that I post these days. It's a great feature, I think, from our friends at Facebook is where I record this. But today I decided instead we'll do a lightning round, and I'm going to share 25 tips to increase and improve your communication skills. And then our challenge today is just to pick one thing and take some kind of action toward doing that thing or trying to increase your skill in that area. So for example, number one is practice active listening. Why? Because people tell us everything we need to know if we just listen. And so you could just say, okay, I'm going to be present and practice active listening today. Number two, speak with clarity. Make sure that your message is clear and concise if at all possible. Use I statements. Instead of accusing people of things or blaming them or using a tone that doesn't sound great, use an I statement. I feel blank when this happens, or I feel blank when you say this, etc. It's a lot less burning when you're giving feedback, especially. Number four, ask open-ended questions. Number five, be mindful of tone. Tone of voice means a lot. I can tell when I use the wrong tone of voice on my granddaughters because they'll like just do the head jerk and stare at me. Number six, learn nonverbal cues. What are people telling you when their eyes are rolling or they're looking at their watch? Number seven, pause before responding. We talked about that. Number eight, acknowledge others' perspective. Guess what? Everybody gets an opinion. I know it's hard to believe, but everybody gets their own opinion and their own thoughts and beliefs about everything. And so acknowledge them doesn't mean you agree. You're just acknowledging that you hear and you understand where they're coming from and their perspective. Number nine, avoid interrupting. Ooh, this is a big one in my family. Number 10, be honest and authentic. Number 11, adapt to your audience. Okay, if I'm speaking to my granddaughters, I am speaking to a different audience than if I'm speaking to a coaching or consulting client or just here online. Definitely different audiences. And so I want to speak to whoever I'm speaking to, right? If you're having a conversation with your significant other, that conversation is very different than the ones you have with your kids. Number 12, practice empathy. Put yourself in other people's shoes, right? Number 13, be open to feedback. Number 14, use humor wisely. We talked about that. Number 15, learn to say no. Number 16, focus on solutions. This is one of my favorite things, especially since the COVID pandemic. Before then, but especially since then. What can I do, not what can't I do? Number 17, use positive language whenever possible, because there's so much negativity in the world. The more positive we can be, the better off we'll be. And we get what we put out into the world, right? So if we're putting positive energy and positive language out into the world, we're getting positive language back. Number 18, write thoughtful messages, both in email and texts. You know, be a little caring. If you wouldn't say it to their face, please don't say it in a text or email. And then there's a written record of it. Look what's going on with Blake Lively and the gang. Be patient in difficult conversations. We should be patient all the time, but especially in difficult conversations. Number 20, practice public speaking. We're working with Shannon on that. Number 21, seek to understand, not to be understood or not to win, right? You can seek to be understood, but if you first understand, people are more willing to understand you or listen to you. Number 22, read about communication styles. Learn about assertive, passive, aggressive, the different styles, and realize that we all use all of them. We all use them some of the time, but we have a propensity to be a certain style. I tend to be super assertive, right? Some people might even call it aggressive sometimes, but it's usually just assertive. Number 23, limit jargon. This is one of my favorites, and I usually spend a day on it, and we didn't do that as part of communication. Maybe we'll do it as part of relationships or some other area of our life, but jargon is one of those things. It's great if you're an insider and you understand it, but it's really frustrating if you don't. I remember having to Google, and this might, tell you all how old I am, but I think I share that anyway. I had to actually ask a friend and phone a friend and ask, after I tried Googling it, I Googled it and found it too, but AF. Everybody's saying this is AF. or they show something funny AF, and I'm like, what the heck does AF mean? And so I had to actually Google it. So don't assume that everybody knows what you're talking about if you're using slang or jargon or acronyms like IDANS, unless you're going to explain it. 24, thank others often. Be grateful for people and thank them for communicating, but let them know that you appreciate their time and their energy and their input on things, and guess what? You'll get more of it. And then finally, 25, revisit conversations. I would also like to add 26, be self-aware, right? Know how you're behaving and communicating and the feedback that you're getting, and then act on that. If you're getting feedback that you're really not there or not present, then be more present, etc. All right, that's it. I'd love to know how it's going for you, these 90 days of this year's challenge. Hit me up, let me know, give me some feedback. Like I said, I'm traveling today, but I will be online eventually. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. It's an annual challenge. You see me every day. Have a great day. Bye.